Welcome to the first episode of RollFare, a D&D podcast. My name is Devin. I am the Dungeon Master. And we are going to be playing in the land of Seilix, in the world of Idel. So, introducing Seilix to you guys. This is a land of scorching desert and sand in the central region. And on the western and eastern coasts, a dense jungle filled with monsters and titans. The land is primarily dominated by the remnants of the Tuchawi Empire, which has since been scattered for about 150 years. Within this land, you've got a large range of different cultures living together, from gnomes and halflings, humans, dwarves, and even in the southern coasts, you have tritons that sometimes associate with the people. The jungles have many lizard folk, turtles, and tabaxi. This is a land that is burdened with chaos since the fall of the Tuchawi Empire. The people have fallen into a form of martial law in many areas. Northern Tuchawa is separated from southern Tuchawa, and the Baron Lords or warlords in the north vie for power constantly, causing small skirmishes constantly among the people. Southern Tuchawa is slightly more united, but is still in chaos to some degree, ruled primarily by the Central Church in that region. Many foreign conquerors came to Tuchawa during the period of the Tuchawi Empire beginning to wane, as the people there eventually started turning towards becoming Yuan-Ti, the nobles of that time. And in this is where we start off, in what's called the Pumango Oasis, which is in northern Tuchawa, towards the east of the land, near the mountains. This is a oasis that was created through an impact of some sort of meteorite long ago, and has since found great wealth through what's called the Zumaji Road. This road has become the primary source of turquoise in the land, which is a valuable resource. Many traders from Kushako, another city in northern Tuchawa, migrate along this road. But in the years since the Tuchawi Empire has fallen, it's become more and more attacked by bandits and raided by those who are seeking an easy profit. And this is where we begin. We start off in what's called the Zumaji Inn. And we are going to start with a tiefling man
Why do I
who is sitting at the bar. So, describe your character to us, Ryan.
So you can see a tiefling, just under 6 feet tall, dark red skin, black hair, silver eyes. I guess he'd be kind of, leaning on his elbow and not feeling very happy at the moment, drinking some ale. He's got some basic leather armor on him at the moment. He also has a tattoo that's easily noticeable on his left shoulder down to his elbow that is similar to the rod of Asclepius, sort of the medical snake wound around the rod. But his tattoo shows the spear piercing the snake and it's a yuan tea, and it's his kind of bragging about how the tieflings helped defeat the yuan tea in recent history, and just kind of rubbing it in people's face. And the weird thing about it, though, is that blood of the snake seems to be kind of just constantly flowing down his arm, but not really like wiping off on anything, but it's just like flowing. It just doesn't seem to be a regular tattoo for some reason.
Excellent. So, you're at the bar, and the bartender has just filled up another ale for you, and you seem to be a little bit stressed out, I would say, at this point. And as you are sitting there, in walks an older man, and he comes up next to you, and do you want to describe your character, Brad?
So you see, it's a 50-year-old human that has some brown and a mostly white streaks in the hair, and it's a beard. It's a bit short. Wearing blue robes, has scrolls everywhere, a pack on the back, and holding a staff, basically, and just basically, and the sandals. Skin looks weathered. You can tell spends most of the time just out in the desert, basically, and walking in.
Okay. So you walk into the bar. Anything that you do?
At this point, I'd walk up to the bartender and ask for anything water-like. If you have water, that'd be great, but...
You're looking for water specifically?
That would be nice, yes.
Sure, we've got some right here. And he goes over to a basin, fills up a cup and hands it to you. Says, no charge.
Oh, thank you. And I see the tiefling next to me, and cheers! And I don't wait to find out if he cheers back, but and guzzles down the water.
I just give him a very brief glance and go back to staring at my drink.
Okay, cool. Anything else you do?
Well, after I take a big swig, I want to just study my neighbor. See what I can take in.
Okay. So you see this old man, human man, just staring you down.
Just looking everywhere. Memorizing your tattoos.
Is there something you wanted?
What does this mean?
You mean this yuan tea here?
Yes.
I think it should be pretty obvious.
Oh, that's interesting. I like it. What does it mean to you?
Means back off and leave me alone.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So
I back off.
All right. So he backs off, and then
I am squishy. I'm not going to.
as you guys are having this conversation in the corner of the bar, and not really in the corner, probably closer towards the bar, you three notice these two having this engagement, and you just kind of whisper to each other, being like, "What's going on?" But would you guys like to describe your characters? And we'll start with Kayla.
So you just see this adolescent tabaxi trying to travel light, has a side weapon and a small pack. How much do you want to bet they're going to get in the fight?
Who?
Those two at the bar.
Where? Over there?
Yeah, that dinosaur and that tiefling.
How can you tell that they're about to fight?
See his shoulder? See how tense he is?
Huh. The red one, right? Tiefling?
The red one.
Shall we put money down? Is that what normally happens in bars?
Normally, yes. When I say bet, that usually means money's down.
All right. What is an appropriate bet?
Let's go a couple copper.
All right. So I shall do 5 copper on the tiefling to take out the old man.
You're on.
It's probably true.
Do you want to describe your character?
Yeah, so
This is Sarah, by the way.
you see a petite fire genasi. She has bright blue eyes, ash gray skin, and very long wavy hair. And it's colored like fire. And the way that the color goes down the strands, changing between yellow and red and orange, it really looks like fire. She also has fiery markings that lace over her skin, almost like tribal tattoos. And although her physical appearance is very exotic, the style of her clothing is rather mundane. She's wearing just a strapless bralette, some trousers, and a wrap. But if you look, upon closer inspection, the quality of these fabrics and the dyes used are very fine. And paired with her perfect posture, you can tell that Asar has very recently known fabulous wealth, and she's trying very, very hard to look like the common rabble.
Rabble, you say.
Rabble.
Sounds
The
good.
man across the table from you finally puts down a drink. He's like, well, I guess you know how to pick a bet, but judging by those robes, I imagine it's pretty obvious who'd win if things come to blows. You see before you a man, pretty unkempt face in leather armor. Just about everything has on him looks like it may have at one point been possibly nice, but after years of constant use, his repairs is pretty worn down at this point, but it's got the comfort of, that conditioning, something that you kind of take to sleep like a nice blanket where it's just... Yeah, so, I'll be honest, it wouldn't be the first time I've smacked somebody for not minding their own business. I know I like to keep to myself, especially when I'm drinking, so let's have a gander, shall we? And I take another drink, and I begin to stare at the tieflings.
Is it quite common for people to just fight each other just for looking at each other incorrectly?
Yeah,
It depends on why he's in the bar in the first place.
Can I hear them all speculating about this? Like,
Go ahead
how loud is it?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Imagine Asar would be very
Okay.
loud. Not realize.
It's it's 11.
Okay. I'd say you hear him well enough.
I'm just gonna take a quick glance back at them to try to measure them up too.
He's looking at us.
You see me kind of look at you, just do it.
So,
So motioning to under my breath to kind of get him.
So after he kind of, was pushing off, I kind of want to move around a little bit farther away, and because obviously he was not happy with me. And then I wanted to ask you a question. Are you adventuring type?
Well, I think at this point, I could certainly be open to that form of employment potentially. Sure.
Employment is not what I was thinking, but maybe friends in an adventure with many things we could find and split.
I don't know. You don't look like the one who'd earn me very, very much wealth, I'd say.
Looks can be deceiving, very much so. And no, first glance, I don't look like much, but I do clean up a bit, and then I'm going to use prestidigitation. I got to know how to pronounce that. Prestidigitation, and just clean up the the sand and everything, and just make myself look clean.
Okay.
Whoa, okay, so you know some little magic, looks like.
Just a little bit gets me in trouble sometimes, but looking for more. Definitely.
So why are you in search of an adventure? What do you need from me?
I need somebody strong, and I don't look it, and obviously there are others that when I go spelunking want to do me harm, obviously, so just looking for anyone that wants to share in a fight.
Well, to be honest, at this point I've got nothing better to do.
I'm Arden, by the way.
Alton.
Alton, very nice. You do look all tan.
I just glare at him like absolute death stare.
Yep.
This close to casting some hellfire out or something.
Good, I like that you have a sense of humor. All right.
Okay, so you guys see these two kind of seem to be making up and then almost like come to blows again. So
Yes, in an instant.
not 100% sure what direction the bet's going to take at this point. Do you guys discuss anything about what's happened recently among yourselves in the desert?
Honestly, I'd rather forget the whole ordeal myself.
Well, thankfully, Reyna was there to assist us. Though I would like to see what kind of provisional government could have stopped those slavers.
You think the government cares?
Well, why wouldn't they care?
Because it is a source of income and therefore can be taxed and therefore helps the government.
For that particular city-state, maybe, but I wonder where they were going. Because it could be that they cross a path of jurisdiction where slavery is illegal, in which point they could have been captured.
On which point they're now worth more money because it's, obviously a little bit more difficult to get. Prices go up.
Yeah, you get me.
All sorts of stuff happens where it's not legal. Doesn't stop it from happening, that's for sure.
Kaiju, where do you suppose your fellow crew members might have run off to?
Heaven knows, most of them were captured and then split up so that they couldn't gang up with one another, and I have no idea. Some were taken on a north path, some were taken further east, but heaven knows where they ended up now.
I wonder if there's a way we could have maybe get some records to try to maybe figure out on what caravan they would have been on and then track them down. Because if we find the city in which the caravans will end, then we might be able to rescue them before they're sold to a third party.
If you know connections and you know how to do that, I would be right there with you.
So, one thing that you do know about this area, you studied it a little bit as you were preparing for your mission. You know that this road leads to the Zumaji Mine. And many of the slaves that are carted on this road end up there. And that's the primary source of where turquoise is harvested and then shipped back to the west and then distributed from Kushako. So you do know that this is just kind of a waypoint, a natural waypoint on the way to the mine. The mine itself is probably about 120 miles to the southeast.
So it's likely that they were captured in. Most of them were captured in that direction.
No. So your crew members,
Uh-huh.
you have no idea. Many of you guys were captured much sooner, but in your travels, you were being carted along the Zumaji Road
Okay.
that direction.
Okay.
But you do know this was the direction you guys were heading.
Makes sense. Well, if you know how to find these records of how to track the slavers, that would mean everything to me.
You'd have to find a marketplace or their destination and see if we can.
I mean, if it was easy enough to find in a marketplace, then some of this stuff probably would have been shut down by now as well. They have their own ways about it. Even my connections, though, as few as they may be, I'd have a hard time hunting them down. There's a few kind of obvious places that they might take slaves, but a lot of those are lucrative businesses in and of themselves, and would most likely be rather heavily guarded.
I guess our other option is we try to go forward to the mine and find my contact. At least finish the mission, even if I lost my crew doing it.
That might be the best option right now. And if the mine is a place where lots of slaves go, surely we might be able to find some sort of record book. Perhaps.
If we're lucky.
Okay. So as you guys are continuing your conversation there, does anything further transpire between you two?
I'm just kind of like eavesdropping on that conversation a little bit, but haven't decided if I want to chime in yet.
All right. You're able to hear him easily enough just using your same roll. So, anything specifically that you're thinking or is going across your mind, or that you're sharing with Arden there?
I'm still kind of just ignoring Arden mostly, although like waiting for him to, if he's willing to potentially lead me to some profit or something like that. I'm not just completely brushing him off, but waiting for him to maybe share some more detail or something.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything you're doing, Arden?
I'm hoping I hear as well, like these.
Okay.
What they're
Why
saying.
don't you go ahead and make a perception check?
It's gonna
You
be
can do it
terrible.
with advantage. Just nothing's being hidden here.
14.
Okay. Yeah, you hear well
Perception.
enough.
I forget. I gotta add. I'm doing physical rolls. So weird. Feels so right. Anyway, I'm sure. Yeah, it'll be higher. +4. So yeah. 18.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, you hear him well enough.
But how are your people skills? Oh yeah, that's good. How about we go see if they want to. There's a mine nearby that might be. I mean, if there's enough of us, maybe it would be lucrative. Let's ask them about it.
So you don't actually have any plan for adventuring?
I have plans.
Okay.
Some are more long term than others.
I was gonna stand up and walk over to the table.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow.
Well, I excuse me for interrupting you, but I couldn't help but overhear. Would your contact perhaps be named Jalen?
Sorry. Were you asking if her contact is Jada?
Yes. Yeah, I was speaking to Kaiji or the Tabaxi. I don't really
Yeah, you know.
couldn't catch her name.
Names, yeah.
No, that's not what I'm there for. I don't know the name.
Well, that's actually probably a good thing because at this point I'm not sure if he's alive.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm not.
Okay, good.
I'm dying.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Are you just at the bar like choking to death?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you hit him before you came over here?
I didn't have to do anything so physical to do that.
Does that mean I won the bet?
I guess it does. I push the coins in your direction.
I couldn't help but overhear you mentioning a mine. Are you all going to a mine nearby soon?
Well, it looks like we might have some business up there. We have a few loose ends we need to tie up. I mean, I don't mind the company.
I'd very much like to visit this mine, but me alone is not very wise.
Yes, you might choke to death on your own water on the
You
way
can
up.
see I can't even drink water properly. But if you're going and you don't mind the company, then I would love to accompany you and me and my best friend here, Alton. I am Arden, by the way.
Fast friends, I could tell.
He's very friendly.
I'm not going to argue with you there.
Asar is going to look at Alton just to try to do the size up thing, but not doing it very well. Just
Like very obvious.
yeah.
Do
suppose
you
he'll-
share your name with him? He mentioned his name.
Oh, yes, I'm Rainer. This adorable puppy following me around is Asar.
Hello.
And, Gaiji's the kitty to my left.
The backseat, if you don't mind.
I do.
Well, you certainly look like a group who may not mind hiring a tiefling to perhaps help out on this excursion.
Well, I was expecting to take 8 others with me on, so anyone we can get will help greatly.
I can't quite guarantee any money, though. As you can tell, I'm not really loaded, as we should say.
Yes, I'm very poor as well.
I want to see if I can tell their clothes.
Make an insight check.
Yeah. So I feel like I'd be able to spot that a mile away. Insight. 12.
I would say probably at this point, are you trying to like make a potential deception check there?
Sorry, guys.
Sure.
Go ahead and make a counter deception check to that.
9.
You don't believe her. Seems to be that she's trying to lie, not doing too well at it. So, all right. So as you guys are having this conversation, you see a lumbering figure walk in through the door, and you just hear kind of a shuffle along the sandstone floor. And would you like to describe your character, Austin?
Yes, my character is, his name is Sharu. He is a turtle, basically colored green. He wears almost very weathered clothing. On his back is a pack. It looks very full, but it also seems to be, looks like it's been ruffled through recently and not really well organized back into the pack, so things are poking out here and there. He looks very disheveled at the moment, as if he's been running around running around for a while, and he's just kind of dejected at this time. And so he has his walking staff in hand, and he just shuffles over to the bar and says, "Can I have something that helps me feel better?"
Well, certainly, my fine friend. I believe you actually have a friend of yours that came by here earlier, and she paid for a stay for you. She told me to look for a person who looked like a turtle.
Yes, Malika. Yes, she's... Do you know where she went?
I didn't ask. That's not usually what I do. But She paid for a week's stay for you
That's nice of her.
in one of our finer rooms too.
Well, that will be nice while I figure out what to do next.
Well, all of your drinks and meals for this week are covered. So, anything that you need.
Well, thank you. Ale, I guess.
Yeah, I will bring out our ale. We've got some beer over here. He goes and fills it up from one of the casks in the corner and brings it to you and slides it over and says, "Enjoy."
Thank you.
You look like you've had a bit of a rough time.
I have. Not only has my friend disappeared on me, I've lost some of my possessions, and been trying to find them, and they can't seem to find where they ran off to.
Well, I'm sure they'll turn up eventually, hopefully. But in the meantime, drown your sorrows in ale. It fixes everything.
I have never tried this, but I will try it now.
Oh, jeez.
Sounds good.
Anyone at the table up for another bet?
Who are you betting? Let's see.
We're betting on how just absolutely hammered this walking natural disaster is going to get here.
Turtle's physiology probably won't take that ale very well. So.
I don't know. He's got lots of body mass. And that might be helpful.
True.
Okay. So as you are starting to drink your ale, you consider on the events that have recently transpired within the Temple of Uvumar, and you, as you're pondering on these things, you hear behind you this conversation of these slightly rowdy bar patrons, and do you respond at all?
I just look over at them and just chug my ale and slam it on the table. Oh, that's nasty. Oh. Bartender, can I have some water?
Yeah. You ever had ale before? Is this the first time?
Maybe.
Well, here you go. Let's wash it down.
Thank you.
Looks like we weren't quick enough on the bets.
I will say that was not in my thoughts.
I thought he'd get through at least, another
Single pint?
3 before.
I think he's adorable.
Why, thank you.
Oh, you could hear me.
You guys aren't very
Everyone
quiet.
can hear.
Is that how it sounded for you over there?
Oh, yeah. I could hear you loud and clear.
Oh. Well, I do apologize for my rude behavior.
I don't.
Subtlety is not in her vocabulary, surprisingly enough.
We'll teach you how to whisper. Maybe we'll try that.
I'm sorry, a whisper?
A whisper.
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 Whisper. Why are we whispering?
I don't know. It's fun to hear you. You have good ears.
I mean, he is standing right beside us, so
Yeah, that's
His
that's
is
more the
also
reason.
quite large.
those are horns.
Yes. I do not hear through my horns.
Usually.
Well, his ears are pointy, though.
Oh yeah, tieflings do have
Yeah.
ears, don't they?
They're not that large.
Mr.
choose
Turtle,
not to be
what is your name? My name is Auden. Pleasure to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet you too, Arden. I am Sharu.
Sharu?
Yes. Are you going somewhere with this, or should I go back to my drink?
I noticed you had problems drinking. I had problems earlier as well. It was a bit strong. So
The water?
That water is very strong.
Wait, you choked on the water.
and I have a staff as well, so we should get along, I think.
Yes. Anyways.
Let me introduce my best friends.
Oh no, I'm roped into the best friend.
Okay.
Got a bunch of bumbling, choking idiots showing off their stabs.
My staff is larger than yours.
Honestly, not the
Didn't know we
last
were
thing I
comparing.
expected in a bar.
That's nice.
Yeah, what I know of reptiles, I
I'll
doubt
have
that.
I'll have to get a...
What do you do with your staff?
Well, I tend to use it to walk, mostly.
Me too. I'm looking for a magical one. I don't have a magical one right now. It's just a piece of wood right now.
Interesting.
Magic. Wait a minute. You see Sheru, he reaches for his backpack, and he gets a sad look on his face, and is like, I need more paper.
Oh, you have paper troubles as well.
I didn't used to, but I woke up in the temple, and my book where I keep my notes and everything disappeared on me. I can't seem to find it.
That is...
I was gonna ask you questions about what type of magic you use, and then I remembered my notes are gone, and then more water.
I sympathize. I'm so sorry. I'm a note taker as well.
You are. What do you take notes on?
Mostly spells. Anything I can find. Any interesting artifacts that might be magical.
That is,
Some none.
artifacts tend to have fascinating stories.
They do.
Mine tend to be a little bit of everything. My favorite is to find stories, people's stories, and not today. Today is not a story day.
While they're talking, I turn to the table and I just say, is it me, or is this just the dreariest inn you've ever been in? It seems like we're all down on our luck, except perhaps Arden here. He's the only one who seems to be having a good time.
Well, besides from the water, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, this is one of my good days.
Okay. If you require any paper for taking some notes, I have a little bit. But
I think I'm too sad to take notes today. Thank you, though. I'll
In the
keep
future.
that in mind.
Sounds good. So one reason that Raynor came into town is to go and see the Sheons. So you have been able to seek refuge from them in the past, and you did intend to check in and see how they are doing in the area. You're easily the one that's most familiar with the area, and Asar, you also are familiar with the Pumango Oasis, having spent some time here for a week or two. But you guys do know that you have the Zujiri. Wait, I think I pronounced that wrong. Bear with me. Zujiri Square, where there is various things that you can shops that you can search around. You also both would know that there is Zujiri Distribution, which is a corporation of sorts that is based in Kushako that has a presence here at the Pumango Oasis, and they primarily deal in caravans, especially on the Zumaji Road, and they transport the stones to Kushako, where they are then turned into various jewelry and then shipped to other areas. You also know there's various places. There's an herbalist here, a jeweler, as well as just some basic craftsmen. But you yourself know that the Sheon family are the primary smiths in the area, and one of your most solid connections.
Okay. So, listen, when were we planning on heading out to the mine? I know it's
Well, I'm at your mercy. Take all the time you need, but
Okay,
the
I've
sooner
got
the
to-
better.
Got a friend I need to meet. See if I can maybe get a little information from him, but I've got some things to talk to him about. And so I'd say probably be a good idea for us, especially to rest up for the night at least.
Agreed.
Do you know where you're going? Could you use a guide through the city?
Oh, I know where I'm going. I've been here for a bit of a time now. Got a lot of friends in low places.
Well, if you'll have me, I'd be happy to tag along with you all to this mine. Like you said, you may not be able to pay me, but I've got nothing better to do, and frankly, I'd be happy to get out of this place.
Sounds good to me. I'm actually going to go to the smithy over there and a little bit down the road. If you need anything done with your armor, your gear, probably tag along, see if you can't get things worked out while I handle my own business.
Shall I come with you?
I expected so.
Kind of want to do under my breath and as quiet as possible, do detect magic.
Okay.
So I want to see if there's any magical items that people are carrying.
Okay. So are you trying to hide
So I'm
this?
trying to hide it, yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand.
Alrighty. Sleight of hand and a whisper. 9.
Okay. So if anyone's really paying attention, you probably are able to tell if your passive perception is higher than a 9 that he's casting a spell of some sort. And then so you cast the spell, and you do pick up a magical aura from Raynor, near where his weapons would be, and then also from Asar in a bag that she has.
Magic bag.
I take a kind of a step back. Excuse me?
I just like to know who I'm traveling with, and I noticed you have this mesmerizing bag on you.
And?
That's all.
Well, can I...
It's fascinating. That's all.
The favor can go both ways. Who am I traveling with?
I'm Arden.
Yes, we know this. We're best friends now.
Yes. Exactly. What would you
Listen,
like to know?
I don't think he's too much to worry about. You could probably take him in a fist fight if you had to.
That is true. That's why
You wouldn't
I
even
need
need your fists in
friends.
that fight.
That's why I need friends. My magic isn't a secret among friends. Outside, maybe. Others may not need to know that I can wield magic. They might not like that I can.
Well,
But this is the secret I am giving to you.
What? I share to interject here. Just because I'm overhearing you, what do you use your magic for?
Survival? Because I'm squishy. Wouldn't say squishy. I just say squishy. Survival and discovery.
Okay.
Okay. So we will have pick up again on our next session with Raynor and whoever else is accompanying him, heading to the Sheon Smithy.
You have been listening to RollFare, a D&D podcast. Produced, recorded, and mixed by SF Shields. Executive produced by the RollFare team. Copyright 2021 by RollFare LLC. All rights reserved. Visit us online at rollfare.com.